Baseball is in the air. Welcome to opening day on the W&L Sports Network as the Tigers of Hampton-Sydney come to town to face the Generals of Washington and Lee University. Welcome to opening day. I'm Jack Hunter, joined alongside by my broadcast partner today, Lily Mitchell. And today, if anybody's due, it is Zach Perkins. Right now, he has the golden sombrero, 4 Ks. Gazen's going as Perkins swats one deep to left field, going back as Hart, retreating over his head. He can't make the play. Scoring is Gazen. Hart falls down, and here Perkins goes. They're going to send him home. Zach Perkins inside the park, home run, and the Generals have burst this one open in the bottom of the 8th.
I have to wonder.
They've left 9 runners on so far through the first 4 frames, as Erdman ropes one into right center field, a base hit.
That's what we like to see.
2 runs are going to score, and Luke Erdman gives the Generals the lead in the bottom of the 5th. The Generals have a base runner, Brian Wickman, on first base. And the pitch line down the right field line. That is a fair ball down in the right field corner. Getting the hold at third is Wickman, and now they're going to send him on an errant throw, and he scores. An RBI double for Mitchell Salvino, and the Generals are on the board here first in the bottom of the 2nd. So both teams making some fielding mistakes early on, and the Generals are able to capitalize it, getting a run on the board here first. We're all stretched out and ready to go. For the Generals in the bottom of the 7th, and for the Maroons, their 6th pitcher of the day is Austin Bancek. The Generals have got their work cut out for them. This is Bancek's 10th appearance of the season. He is 2-0 in 13 innings pitched with only 1 earned run allowed. He has a .69 ERA, pitched 2 scoreless innings versus Ferrum on Wednesday. And he will get Mason Satterfield to lead off the bottom half of the 7th inning at Captain Dick Smith Field. Here's the 1-2 pitch. McCann sets, fires, swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. And Washington and Lee improves to 1-0. They win their opening day game against the Hampton-Sydney Tigers in the first leg of a doubleheader. Is the last hope. He swings and hits a high fly ball to left field. Perkins is under it, and he makes the grab, and the ball game is over. And the Generals hold on to a tightly contested region matchup. Now Raymond still ahead on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Grohowski. Delivers, catches the inside corner, strike 3 call. John Raymond leaves the bases loaded for the Tigers. The Tigers strand 3, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Generals holding on to a 2-1 lead on the W&L Sports Network. Welcome back to the W&L Sports Network as the Generals are coming up at the top of the inning with Gazen, Perkins, and Volpicelli facing Trenton Tiller, a junior from Virginia. He pitched last weekend, pitched very well. 6 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And in his career, he's 7-1 in 12 starts, including 3 complete games. So he is Hampton-Sydney's best, and Washington and Lee is going to get to see him today. And that is ball 1. Jackson Gazen, a true leadoff hitter for the Generals, hit .404 last year, was included in a D3 Team of the Week during the middle of February. As Gazen skies one. Roaming over is a left fielder, Hart, and he makes the catch for the first out.
And with me in the broadcast booth is my partner, Jack Hunter. Jack, so what kind of storylines are we expected to see in this game today?
Well, 2 teams that are coming in on very different trajectories, Marshall. We first have the Roanoke College Maroons, who are coming in at 11-4, a strong conference start at 4-1 in the ODAC, winners of 7 straight. And then you've got the Generals, after beating Hampton-Sydney on opening day, they've lost 7 straight games and are 11th place in the ODAC conference. So Roanoke's coming in hot. Washington and Lee is not, but Washington and Lee is looking to rebound today, and they've got a good opportunity to do here at home.
Yeah, so they've got something to prove in this game here against one of these the biggest teams in the conference. And so who are the guys that we're going to need to really watch out for if they're going to really perform and these Generals are going to win this game?
Well, the Generals pitching staff has been the worst in the ODAC by far. They have a 10.37 team ERA, which is last by almost 2 whole points. But they're turning to senior Mason Shuffler on the mound today, who needs to have a big performance for the Generals if they want to come out on top. He had a pretty decent start versus Lynchburg last week, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. They're going to need something similar to that this weekend because Roanoke's swinging the bats hot, and Washington and Lee has not had an effective starting rotation this year.
Excellent. Yeah, and you mentioned Roanoke's bats, and there's a bunch of them in the lineup here that have been just really lighting up opposing pitchers. But I see one in particular, Carter Plunkett, has been just setting the league on fire. Tell me a little bit more about him and his stats, if you would, please.
Well, his on-base percentage is over 500 this year, if that gives you any perspective on how good of a hitter he's been. 9 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. He's a top 5 hitter in the ODAC when you look at batting average, RBIs, home runs. Washington Lee's going to have to be careful with him today.
Indeed, he is dangerous. Bring the count to 3-1. And Jack, if you're the third base coach here, what kind of sign are you giving to Volpicelli?
He's a senior. He's been starting for really his whole career. I'm giving him the green light. I think he's a pretty smart ball player.
Well, that is vindication if I've ever seen one, as that is sent into center field. Wickman will score into third.
And also a very smart play as well. Not only a smart piece of hitting, but a smart play to move up to second base, as they weren't really paying attention to him, and now they have 2 runners in scoring position with 0 outs.
And Jack, tell me what kind of pitching setup that these Maroons have been rocking so far this season.
So Roanoke's a very by-committee pitching staff. If you're a fan of the MLB, kind of like a Tampa Bay Rays type approach, where usually their starters only go about 2 or 3 innings at most. They have about a lot of pitchers that can get them multiple innings. They've had 24 pitchers recording out this year, if it gives you any perspective. And really their one true starter pitched on Wednesday. So it's going to be pretty much 2 bullpen games for Roanoke today.
Yeah, some Kevin Cash style pitching here as Erdman's going to ground the ball straight up the middle into center field.